Power Rangers Time Force, the video game based on the Power Rangers Time Force series, available for the Nintendo Gameboy Color. Choose your Power Ranger and fight evil throughout space and time. But do it quickly, because you'll be bored in no time. Also, the game is timing you. This is a below-average side-scrolling action game on the Game Boy Color that's aimed at serious Power Rangers fans only. Wow, he's jumping over fire. The problem with this game is that it's so incredibly boring, and occasionally packs a bit of a challenge, but it's not terribly playable. The controls are extremely awkward. You choose one of the Power Rangers, and even though they claim to have different attributes, they're all basically the same. You can punch enemies, which is useless, use your sword thing, or shoot them with a gun, which is probably your best way to go. I'm playing it here using my Game Boy Advance SP with the backlit screen, which is my system of choice when playing Game Boy Color games. It's not a great looking game, but it's easy to make out the characters and level designs. The way that they jump off of walls is extremely irritating. Also, pausing the game to change weapons is so late 1980s. After you defeat one of the end bosses, you get to go through this whole phase where you really blow them up with all of your Power Rangers. And the whole thing comes across as another one of those games, except with the Power Rangers. While I was a fan of the original series from the mid-90s, I don't know anything about Time Force, so much of the subtle nuances, jokes, and details in this game, if there are any, are lost on me. But I do enjoy chasing down criminals through time. We'll go to the future in the underwater base. This is where I really started to notice flaws in the controls. While they're your basic jumping and attack kind of controls on a side-scroller, they're not terribly responsive. And it's easy to fall off of things and get electrocuted. You can find Power Rangers Time Force eBayisably these days, extremely cheap, easy to find, and for good reason. There's better games out there. Unless you're a huge Power Rangers Time Force fan, then you might really dig the game. But your time might be better spent watching Power Rangers Time Force. Although you do get to beat up mummies in this game. I'm not sure what I expected. Maybe I'd like every Power Rangers game to be like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Sega CD, which was laughably awesome. With its cutscenes and dialogue from this show, this one is just another disappointing platformer. I'll be the first to admit that the Power Rangers make for great video games. They're colorful, they're cheesy, it's amusing, and the Game Boy Color may not be their platform of choice. That would be the Sega CD, of course. Here's a Megazord battle where the controls go from not that good to downright awful. This one's for serious Power Rangers Time Force fans only. It's Power Rangers Time Force on the Game Boy Color.